Every time. Every time with it.
No. The tip of the teeth. The tips, the tongue. Tips. Teeps.
Okay.
Teeps are booger monsters that live inside my children's noses.
Oh, that's disgusting.
It's like as if the boogers were alive.
I can't do snot. There's a lot of things that I can do. That's not one of them.
No.
No.
Your choice on children is definitive at this point. I'm not asking as like a nag from like a weirdo, just because if yes,
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Because if no, then you're going to have to get used to boogers real quick. They are everywhere all the time.
I've learned working in education that there's some things that I can do and some things that I cannot. Barf.
No, barf is no go for me.
And snot are not on my list.
Yeah, boogers.
Broken bones, blood, other emergencies, I'm your gal.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone's horking or puking, nope.
No, that'll just make me throw up as well. It'll be like one of those cartoon things where everyone starts throwing up into each other's mouths, that sort of thing.
No, we're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
That's not what we're here for.
No, it isn't. It's not what we're here for.
That ain't it. That ain't right. That ain't right. Bow. Pew, 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 pew. So, Crocs Inc. is an American footwear company based in Broomfield, Colorado, that manufactures and markets the Crocs brand of foam footwear. Crocs Inc. termed these clogs, but they do not contain any wood like a traditional clog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so a little history for you. Crocs is founded in 2002. They started heading out, but they don't really hit their popularity. Their real popularity doesn't happen until like the 2016 to present era, which is when they've really gone big.
Yeah.
They had sold 300 million pairs by 2017, but they become a thing during the pandemic era. And they also gave away a bunch to healthcare workers. Anyhow, they are cool. They're popular. I know you disagree. Yeah. And it seems like there's definitely a coolness cutoff here. So like the cooler people, myself, really like Crocs. And then people that are a little less with
like
it,
me.
If you will.
Yeah.
Like yourself.
That's where we're going with that.
Totally kidding. It was I could see your unimpressed nature as I built up towards that really
weird
great joke.
Because on the one hand, I'm happy that society is a little bit different, because were I to wear sweatpants, a hoodie, and Crocs to school when I was in high school, I would have been made fun of. That's not cool. We shouldn't judge people on their appearances. I'm down with how, currently,
Absolutely.
The children that I work with typically would wear some type of sweatpant, track pant, tight, hoodie, sweatshirt, with Crocs and be considered cool, not for their clothing, but just for their general nature. I appreciate that.
Yeah, because they don't
love
care.
it.
That's what makes you cool.
I still think that Crocs are horrific and they're ugly, and maybe a little bit of bullying would be okay. Not a lot. Just a little bit. Just about the footwear.
So this is interesting. This leads me to my next point I just read about today, was that a lot of children in schools apparently are subconsciously picking up on the biases of their teachers and administrators. And there's been a new report that suggests that these biases and sort of dislikes from administrators and teachers are actually influencing group-like behavior from students and targeting of certain children. How do you respond?
I'd like to read the study, and I think it's bullshit. Because if students gave two shits what I thought, there'd be no Crocs in the school. I promise you, Ben, they don't care.
Did you not realize you had such an incredible influence over these young minds?
I know I've told you the story about the kid who was in my office and we were going through his grad plan. And then he's like, hey, what's your job? And I was like, I'm an administrator. And he was like, good for you. He just thought I was like a friendly teacher. So they don't know. They don't know who I am. They don't care.
They don't care.
They're just, I'm a shape to them.
Yeah.
Do you remember one of your high school principals or random teachers? Do you remember a handful of people who either really positively impacted you or really negatively impacted you? The people that were kind of in the middle, you don't really think about.
I remember a German teacher who negatively impacted me quite a significant amount, to the point where we just agreed I would leave her class and she would pass me.
Okay, good. There you go.
And the administrator that dealt with that case, who also agreed that I would just leave her class and she would pass me. So I remember them. I don't remember. I remember one of their names, not the other. The VP. I don't remember his name. I just remember him being a smarmy piece of shit. And then I remember one or two teachers
Yeah.
Miss Bell, I think was her name, an English teacher that I actually liked. She was like a little bit irritating as well and not particularly nice, but I found her class interesting. So there you go. Yeah. But otherwise, high school was just a 3-year period of mourning that I desperately needed to get out of.
I think that's a lot of people are just putting in their time and trying to get through it as best as possible. And I get that.
As I, Charlie Brown, walked the hallways alone every lunch hour for 45 fucking minutes, just trying to get through it without anyone noticing. I had no friends, but they knew. They all knew.
Oh, that makes me so sad. I try to talk to as many kids as possible just to check in with them, but it's really difficult when...
It's very...
Well, and you don't want it, like, I always wonder, too, like, is this helping you?
Like, you don't want to be weird.
Is having an adult check in with you publicly going to help? Is it going to make it worse? Like, it's so hard. Poor kids.
Yeah, kids suck. But Crocs make things better.
There's a teacher at my school who has a basket of Crocs in his room, and he has, like, I think I sent you pictures of them, like 7 different colors of Crocs. Like, one's rainbow, one's blue. Like, he's got one for every day of the week. He loves them. He says they're so comfortable. I think it's good because they're always on my Korean drama shows of doctors. They're always wearing Crocs. I agree that they're comfortable. I have a pair, Ben. I have a pair.
Okay, I was going to ask if you've ever actually worn
Yes,
any.
I have a pair. I wear them in the garden. When I'm puttering around outside, I wear them.
But not inside for like a slipper?
No.
Interesting.
I'm not a slipper person.
Oh.
I'm a barefoot person.
I'm a sock person usually, but I've realized that I can live a more comfortable existence by enjoying a pair of slippers, and Crocs I put into that category. I do have, as you're aware, like 4 pairs of Crocs.
Yes, I know.
I have gibbeted the fuck out of them.
I thought they were called giblets, so I'm glad that I'm close.
Gibbets, I believe.
Gibbets,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, giblets are the thing you pull out of a turkey before you cook it.
Well, these are things that you pull out of a Croc before you throw them away, I guess.
No, you wear them.
I guess.
They're a great way to personalize.
I left a pair of Crocs outside in the sun one day, and they shrunk.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I had to, like, stretch them out again.
Yeah, like the foam contracted or something in the
Something
heat?
like that, yeah.
Wait, what does heat make things do again?
Contract.
Shrink?
Shrink.
Yeah.
I fully agree that Crocs are comfortable, but they're ugly. They're ugly, ugly things.
Doesn't that buoy your soul that we have somehow elevated ourselves beyond such base aesthetic needs? Like, am I cool? Do I look nice? No, just wear a pair of Crocs. They feel good. They're fun colors. You can make them pretty. This is the new world I want to live in.
I'm going to push back on that one, Ben. I can agree.
Make them pretty for you individually. I mean, I love mine.
I can definitively say Crocs are monster feet. You should get rid of them. We need to, as a society, a collective society, if you will, band together and stop the insanity of Crocs. Wear them around your house. Sure, a slipper. I wear them in the garden, but do not wear them outside.
Have you tried Coca-Cola Spiced?
What does that taste like?
It is hard to describe. It's somewhere between cherry Coke and Dr. Pepper with this almost ethereal spice flavor at the end. It's worth a try.
Yeah. No.
I thought you wanted to be a soda connoisseur.
Yeah, but like I'm a refreshing soda drinker. Like a lime flavor. If something's like savory in a drink, not so much. Chai I can get my head around, but that's a warm drink. As a cool drink, no, can't do it.
So you don't find Coca-Cola in general sort of savory?
No.
Okay, but then you wouldn't find this offensive, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Last word on Crocs. We tried to run a poll, and I want to just call out some shenanigans that happened.
How dare you, sir? You don't know?
So it turns out I can look at the results of how people have voted, and there were more than one Lexi account used to vote no on our Crocs poll. Shenanigans.
What did everybody else say? How many people voted, and what was the result?
The results ended up being roughly half and half, with a skewing of teacher listeners, people that I know are teachers for a living, voting anti-Croc, and everyone else voting pro-Croc.
That's what the spice of life right there.
But, you know, we can't call this a scientific poll because somebody had effed with the data a little bit.
Okay, first of all, I question how the question was written.
It just said Crocs, yes or no. I think that's pretty straightforward.
I don't know.
How do you feel about Crocs, folks? Do you have some stylings that you think are really hot and hip? Send them to us, everyone at dorkmatterspodcast.com or directly to Lexi on Instagram. What is your handle there?
Alexandra Actual.
Yeah, on Insta, you can direct message her your favorite Crocs looks. Let's move on to our theme song, which we both love and can sing really well. Welcome back to the show. This is Dork Matters. I'm your dad, Dork host, Ben Rankle, and with me is Lexi Hunter at Dorkator. Dork. Mew, 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 mew. We're doing one of our really high energy recordings today.
Mew, mew.
Sunday night recording.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. Off the hook.
What? We tried to record Friday, but my kids wouldn't go to bed. I was like, hey, can we still shit out an episode? And you're just like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah, and then I took my bra off and was just done for the night.
I have initiated the end of day routine.
Nope.
It's over.
It's Mario time. I've got myself a Pepsi.
Sorry, pal.
And it is...
what are we talking about this time? Lex, what are we inviting our listeners to come into our dork foyer and learn about?
We're talking about our beloved Calgary.
Our what?
Beloved Calgary.
There's a feeling in the air that you can't get anywhere except in Calgary. I taste 1,000 yesterdays and I love the magic ways of Calgary. From the mountains close at hand, I can look across the land and see you touch the sky. From the prairies glow to where the sunsets go, we're all good neighbors passing by. Makes no difference where I go, you're the best hometown I know. Hello Calgary, hello Calgary.
Channel 27 loves you. Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Calgary. The YYC.
The YYC is the airport. That became a trend. I don't know. I think we're moving past calling the city itself by the airport code at this point.
It's a shame. It was nice.
The 403.
403 to the YYC.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, there you go.
What else do we have now? 587?
587 403. Yeah, I think 587 is the other area code. So
Land your plane in YYC.
yeah, we're talking about Calgary.
Calgary. It's where we're from, and we thought maybe people would want to learn about it.
And for all of its good and its bad.
Yeah, let's start right there. Do we like Calgary?
Well, we can't get away from it, so take it for what it is.
We're stuck.
Yeah, we're here.
Sometimes I love it. Sometimes I hate it.
Yeah, actually, it's pretty accurate.
Some things I hate consistently. Some things I love consistently.
What do you love about it consistently?
God, is there anything? I love the people, the good people, not the bad people. There's bad people that I hate consistently, but there's a lot of really cool people that want a better, more welcoming and humane place for each other and to build a nice, beautiful home for everyone. Those are the people I like. And a lot of them live in my community, so I enjoy that. Yeah,
that's good.
What about you? What do you love about Calgary?
I think it is one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
It is
I think
very attractive.
There's so many beautiful parks and trails and pathways and just great tree coverage. And it's so close to the mountains, but also like prairie country. So there's so many things that you can do if you're an outside person. So I think it's just gorgeous.
Very diverse biome area. We have one of the largest within the bounds of our cities green spaces parks in the world in Nose Hill Park. We have the largest, I believe, bikeway system in North America, like city biking paths. Yeah, we got some rivers. They're small. You can't really boat on them or anything. Doesn't stop people from
I mean, you
trying.
can, but like not boating the way
Yeah.
people are maybe thinking. Like it's more like get in a raft and have a nice
A
afternoon.
paddle. Yeah.
A paddle. It's more of a paddle than a boat.
More of a paddle. You can get a speedboat on there if you need to, which is what rescue does when idiots start doing things on the river they shouldn't, like trying to canoe over the weir.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
If you know what a weir is. Pronunciation. Say Calgary for me.
Calgary.
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 Calgry is how we say it.
Calgary.
Calgary. You can tell if someone's from here if they say Cal-gury.
Yeah, Cal-gury. Which is funny because there's a brand of food by a local grocery chain called Cal and Gary's.
Yeah, cool.
And it
Clever
is
branding that will
funny.
be defunct in about a year.
Well, and they have different types of trail mixes, Ben, and this is my favorite
Oh,
thing.
they have everything. Cal and Gary has
But
it
the
all.
trail mix, so there's different roads in Calgary called like Stony Trail or McLeod Trail. But so they have McLeod Trail mix, and it's different types of. It's so cute. It's so cute.
That's very inside baseball for
I
Calgary,
love
isn't
it. I think it's an adorable ploy.
You know what? I do too. I love that kind of shit that sort of turns Calgary into a sense of place on its own. Like, you know, we grow up and we have the great cities of North America presented to us in media all the time. We get your New Yorks and your LAs.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's where every story in North America takes place, is New York or LA. And the number of times that like Canadian cities get to stand in for those, Calgary specifically gets to be metropolis / New York.
Yeah.
You know, you want something that just feels like here sometimes. And maybe that's Cal and Gary's McLeod Trail mix for us. Maybe that's what they're doing. Okay, I just wanted to do the pronunciation. What's your favorite Calgary nickname?
YYC.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like that. I think it's nice and to the point.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
I prefer Cowtown.
Cowtown?
That's my favorite one.
There was a time, if you will recall, I know you will, in the late or early 2000s, the naughties, where there was...
What they're called?
That's what they're called,
that.
like the double O's, like the naughties.
Yeah. I've heard of them as the knots, but I've never
naughties,
called them the naughties. Come over here. We'll give you a spank in 2002.
Get a little naughty. But there were these random sculptures of cows all around Calgary because there is a big ranching cattle industry here. And so there was these sculptures and you could go around town and see all the different types of cows. And they were it was fun.
Painted up. It is fun. The thing that sort of takes some of that buzz away for me is when I found out that every other city in North America had done the same thing around the same time with their own specific animal.
That's okay.
So Vancouver had like orcas.
Yeah. I think that's cute.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I thought it was unique to us and it was not.
I would love to be the town that had like some type of like weird, like Toronto, it should probably be like a raccoon, like all these different raccoons kind of like huddling, like, and to scale, not a big raccoon, Ben, like a small one hidden somewhere. It would be great.
Maybe a bunch of raccoons that form into some sort of giant raccoon kaiju.
I like that. That would be a good one.
Rakaiju. Rakaiju. Does it defend Toronto or does it destroy it? Does it depend on the day?
Depends on the day and whether or not.
How much garbage you give it.
I think it's the garbage, whether or not there's a garbage strike going on and if it's the middle of summer or not.
Yeah. Raccoons are wild.
Oh.
Like, because they haven't developed, like, they have the dexterity of humans, but they haven't developed thumbs in the same way we have. No. They have those weird, fucked up gripping pads on their hands. They
look like they're always like plotting something, like rubbing their little paws together.
Yeah. It's wild. Calgary, as Wikipedia would have us say, Cal-gury, which is not how you say it.
No.
You don't call Toronto, Toronto. You call it Toronto.
Toronto.
And you don't call Calgary, Calgary. You call it Calgary.
Yeah.
Or Calgary.
No, I haven't heard that one. What else does Wikipedia say about Calgary, Ben?
I don't know. It's the largest city in the Canadian province of Alberta. True. It's the largest metro area within 3 Prairie Province region.
Yeah, that's true.
That's also true, yeah. As of 2021, the city proper had a population of 1.3 million. The metro area just about 1.5 million, making it the 3rd largest city and 5th largest met area in Canada. So you got Toronto,
Vancouver,
Calgary.
Yep, we're up there.
We round that out.
It's pretty big.
We round it out. It is big. Another important thing for people that don't know our city, our flag is a red bar with 2 white bars on the top and bottom. And in the middle is a stylized C. And then that opening in the C has a cowboy hat in it. I'm not fucking joking. That's our flag. Well, that's it.
It makes me so
That
embarrassed.
That's our.
I know.
Okay,
I
I thought you were
know.
trying to deny
No,
it.
I know it. Like, there's times where people are like, "Oh, ours is a coat of arms," and it's like lions, and we're like, "Ours is a hat on a C,
Inside a C.
like a cowboy hat." Oh, and that it relates to being white-hatted. So
White-hatted.
it's a tradition in Calgary because of the cowboy culture.
Visiting
Yeah,
dignitaries.
people of note can be given a white Stetson by the mayor or by like an official committee to thank them for coming to the city and for things that they do. Which on one side I'm like, that's nice, and another one I'm like, that's weird. Here's your Stetson.
It's a little weird. My grandfather-in-law, is that what you call your partner's grandparent?
Yeah.
They were white-hatted for turning 100.
Oh, that's cool.
So that is
and
cool.
they were members of the community that are of note. So I think that's important to acknowledge important people in our community, especially historic folks. So there's that.
Let's quick fire some facts.
Yeah.
Some facts. Founded 1875. We'll caveat all of this in a minute, but became a town in 1884, city in 1894, and is named for the city of Calgary in Mull, Scotland.
It's actually the Castle Cal-gury in Mull, Scotland.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
By Colonel James MacLeod. This is being a teacher in Calgary. You tend to know quite a bit about the treaty land that we're on and the history of said town. Began by Fort Calgary, actually, Ben, people recall.
Well, first there was a settler or two, and then if we go before the European white people, we get into the treaty aspect of things, which is there were already people living here, trading on this land, interacting with other nations. You can hear the full list of that at the end of our podcast. But I think it's important to talk about a Euro-founded city like ours, making sure that we're not trying to talk about discovering anything.
Oh, no, Calgary is on Treaty 7 territory, and
Absolutely.
It's the last treaty in Canada to be signed, and it was signed with 5 major independent, bodies of people. So First Nations peoples, the Siksika, the Kainai, the Kainai, the Stoney Nakotas, the Tsuut'ina, and then of course now we have Métis peoples that make up the land. But before then, it was just the 5 tribes that were the major folks that inhabited the area for time immemorial.
And we won't get into the litigation or litigating the legality of these treaties and whether they were okay or not, because they weren't. They were bullshit. But still, let's acknowledge that before Fort MacLeod, before Mr. MacLeod named the area, it was named Brisebois very briefly, and a senior officer with the Northwest Mounted Police at the time?
Yeah,
came
the
in and was
RCMP.
like, fuck no, we're not calling it Brisebois. But we still have a neighborhood called Brisebois in the city. Is this interesting to anyone?
I mean, it's a little bit of history, but I think is important. Yeah.
Yeah, you're learning. You're learning, folks. We are not all fun and games here. Sometimes we do fuck, marry, kill. Sometimes we teach you about Calgary.
Fun things. And educational things.
What else is important to know about this city?
We have a major league hockey team.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for some people. We used to have, we have a CFL, so instead
Canadian
of
Football League.
Yeah, it's like the NFL, but much smaller.
In size of teams, bigger field, if I'm not mistaken.
Bigger field, slightly different rules.
No safe catches.
And not as much money for the players.
Absolutely not. Have we finished our Calgary episode after 15 minutes?
And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Yeah, it's a big city. Nobody is actually from here except for Lexi and I.
Hem. I am also from Calgary. Producer Jess, also from Calgary. I was born here.
And even I, technically not from here originally.
Well, I mean, I am, what would I be, 3rd generation Canadian? So my family...
But what generation Calgarian?
First. My mother...
So your parents were from somewhere else.
Well, my dad was born in Calgary. He was actually born in the county of Bowness.
Right, before it was
so
swallowed up.
There was all these different counties around that have been amalgamated into the city.
Townships,
Townships, yeah. So he was born in Bowness, and my mom is from Edmonton, which is a city to the north of Calgary.
Whoa. I am also originally from Edmonton. My family moved here when I was 7.
My mom moved here when she was, I think, about 12. I want to say, so
yeah.
junior high-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, my sister and I were born here, and I did try to move to Toronto at one point, and that did not work out, and so here I am.
I did move to Vancouver and then
You
left
did.
after a year and
Yes,
came back.
you did.
I didn't come directly back. I stopped in a town city called Saskatoon with about 250,000 people and stayed there for 4 months and was like, no.
Time to go back to the sea town, the sea spot.
Nope. Absolutely not. Do we have a reputation internationally? I feel like nobody knows who we are.
People know about the Calgary Stampede, which is one of the more major events.
Yeah.
So what is the Stampede, Ben?
It is an agriculture and cattle show, ostensibly, or at least that's how it started out.
Yeah, now it's a rootin' tootin' drinking fest.
Yeah, either evolved or devolved, depending on your opinion, into a week-long binge fest.
10 days. 10 days.
10 days of debauchery. Some of our most famous tag team in the Alley Girl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have a parade. There's horses. Everybody. You know, one thing I love. Okay. Calgary Stampede, like or hate?
Indifferent, I'd say. Okay, let me put a little asterisk next to that. Indifferent because I grew up here. I have been so many times to it that the majesty of it is lost. Like, I assume someone who lives close to Disneyland would feel the same way that I feel about the Stampede is to Disney. You know, they're like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there. I appreciate that people love it. I might go this year because they do have like a fine arts festival and crafts festival, and they do have some good food, and there's rides and shit. So like, I'll go.
The Fine Art Festival is very Western centric though. Like it's all like soaring eagles and horses.
But sometimes it's quite beautiful, and there's also
it's always very well excecuted. It's just
they do have like a round dance and powwow exhibitions. They've got like a First Nations village.
Yeah.
So there's things that I appreciate about it.
I mean, I can stand a good corn dog every now and again.
There are many donuts, Ben, and the blue lemonade, delicious, delicious.
Yeah, I heard about what's that pineapple thing that they did for a while?
Idea. I don't like pineapple.
Oh, it's like a pineapple cream thingy, whatever.
Well,
Not everyone. Dole Whip. That was what they
every
called
year
it.
they have Midway food, and they try to outgross. Like they have like deep fried crickets and weird
Oreo.
Yeah.
Poop.
Well, they had like a hot dog once where it was like rolled in like hot Cheetos, and so every year they try to.
That I could get behind.
Like,
I could fuck with that.
It would be okay to go try some of the food. It's super expensive. It's hot as shit because it's out on a tarmac.
It's crowded as fuck. It smells like
pee and
puke.
barf, and they passed a city ordinance that you can start drinking basically at sunup. So it's basically 24 hours a day you can have alcohol in open containers at certain places. It's just
Let me run down
a
couple of things that I do like about Stampede. Okay. I like that I live in a city where there is a big event that everybody in finger quotes, but like everyone in the city fucks with. Like everyone gets involved. It is a full thing where everyone is like, yep, we cowboys this week. It just looks so fun for like, especially like younger people that are participating in that aspect of it. I like seeing cowboys around. I like pancake breakfast lines, even though I won't stand in one.
That's something maybe to point out to listeners that aren't aware that for the 10 days, there's free breakfasts all over the city, and you can find maps and you can basically go to church parking lots.
Flapjackfinder.ca used to be a thing.
And you can just get like a free breakfast and a free OJ or coffee or something for 10 days. It's amazing.
And a free BJ sometimes.
Oh my God, Ben. Also, they do free barbecues in some places.
Some places.
So that's nice.
But yeah, you can absolutely have breakfast every day. Pancakes and
Bacon,
sausages usually. Yeah.
Hash brown. Yep. But you got to stand in a line that's like 2 hours.
I like those. That's another aspect that I do love about it. I like the fireworks. I know a lot of people with pets that don't care for that, but I love fireworks. I'm a sucker for fireworks. I love it.
And you're in a good location because you can do you see them well from your place?
We used to be able to. They put up a couple high rises that have blocked that now. But if we go down to the park a couple blocks away, we can watch them.
That's nice.
So maybe we'll do that this year. I had another thing, but I can't remember what it is anymore, so it doesn't matter. I like country music.
Yep, I do too.
So I listen to country music for 2 weeks straight.
There's They have something called the Coca-Cola stage where musicians come and put on a free concert for the price of admission. And sometimes they get some pretty big names. There's a couple people coming this year that I'm, that I might go see.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Since I've given a couple positives, I'll run down my negatives now. One more positive. When I worked in the corporate world, it was basically a bye week. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Nothing was accomplished. And if you were in the corporate setting that is of the variety of hosting and entertaining to certain people, it is just a week off, and there's a lot of paid for alcohol.
Oh yeah.
Which can be good if you can control yourself. It's fun. It is a week off of work. You are getting paid to not do shit for the most part, and that is a blast.
We typically try to leave town during the 10 days because it's just so busy. And when I did work downtown,
it's chaotic.
My boss at one point was just like, we're going to shut the gallery down because it was just so busy that he would keep...
You don't want that shit wandering in.
Well, no, he would stay open and he would run
really?
it.
No
yeah,
way.
He would just give us the time off so that he would keep the gallery open. But he would give me the time off because it was just so chaotic and he knew how much I didn't like it. So I've always just tried to avoid downtown during Stampede.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and that's on my negative list is sort of the unchecked debauchery can be a bit
much
taxing after a while, especially when I live downtown. I mean, still inner city. So we still get like people park in our neighborhood to go because, they still can. It's still cheaper than taking a cab downtown or trying to find parking. Yeah, I could do without that. There's a lot of loud, drunk people, even in our neighborhood in the evenings. What's another negative about it? Oh, yeah. During the pandemic, they basically finagled their way into opening up when they should not have, and probably caused a lot of people to get killed. Almost certainly did basically bare minimum to no sort of COVID vaccination checking and just let everyone go haywire there. And probably killed 1 million people.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's a negative for me.
I go back and forth, and John and I talk about this quite a bit, about the animal, because there's a rodeo. So there's different types of chuck wagon races, there's steer wrestling, and like it's the whole gamut.
Yeah.
And I've been to the rodeo several times. I've seen horses go down and be shot because they've been so badly hurt.
Oh, me too.
I remember seeing that when I was younger, and my mom like having to talk about it afterwards because my mom was like, it's cruel to the horses. And I was like, then why were they out there to begin with? And that was a whole other conversation.
Well, it is cruel, but on the other hand, these animals are generally really well cared for up until something goes wrong.
Yes.
Like they live a better life than
a lot of people.
A lot of people, the meat that you eat, the animals that you see other places. So like, I don't know. It's a weird spot.
It's a gray area for me, and I'll be really honest. And like, it is an agricultural fair, like you talked about, so you can go learn how like sheep are raised or how cattle is raised, and
yeah, you can put your fist in a cow.
You actually can. It's a fake cow, but it's a cow's butt.
Yeah.
And it's like a sculpture, and you can learn how to like check inside a cow.
Yeah. I have worked on a farm during when they do the sexing of the unborn calves, and it's wild. Look, I didn't know that they made rubber gloves that went that high.
That big?
Up to the shoulder.
Dave Stone, who was on the show last time around, he grew up on a cattle farm, and he's got some crazy stories about being like shoulder deep in a cow. And I've just been like, cool, tell me more.
Oh, we're gonna have to bring Dave back to talk about cows. We'll have a cow episode.
But I will say that like the one thing I learned from some institutions around town and from the agricultural fair is nobody cares more about the animals than the ranchers and the farmers. Like they truly, truly love these creatures.
Does that negate the idea that wrestling one to the ground for the onlooking masses might be cruelty? I don't know. Yeah, I have a hard time with this one.
I know it's hard because I do believe that they're deeply cared for, but then sometimes I'm like, but then why do what you're doing? I don't know. I don't know enough about it because,
if you have strong feelings about this and you live in our city, write in and let us know. Everyone at dorkmatters.com, explain to us how we should feel about this. It's hard. You grow up here and I go back and forth a lot on it. Like,
but you know what I don't go back and forth on, Ben? My love of Stampede.
Oh, I thought that was going a different direction.
No, the Super Dogs.
Superdogs is lovely when it happens. They don't
Yeah.
always have it.
I think that they canceled it for a while, but I thought it's back. But anyway, like, it's a big dog skills competition where they do like obstacle courses
Yeah.
and tricks and things and
It's
play
pretty
like
amazing.
it's so
It's worth stopping
awesome.
in for. Is that animal cruelty?
No, because the dogs love it. And my favorite thing is every year for the longest time, there'd be these dogs that would go out and just like tear through the course as fast as possible. And then they'd be like, uh-oh, folks, here comes pork chop. And then this like big bulldog would come out and just slowly go through the course. And everyone would be like, we love you, pork chop.
Drag its butt across the AstroTurf. Yeah.
Oh, and just every year I was like, this is the greatest.
Release its anal glands as it drags itself.
So cute.
So-
More of that, I think.
Is that really Calgary though for international audiences? That's all we've got to offer,
No,
isn't
but
it?
then I think people come here because of the proximity to the mountains. We do have a reputation of being a really welcoming city. We do have a lot of incredible restaurants.
How does that make you feel though? The idea of like, yeah, I go to Calgary so I can go to Banff. Like it's like it makes you feel like you're just like the bus stop on the way to somewhere else.
I don't care. Spend your money here and have a great vacation.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
All are welcome.
Don't go to Banff.
Banff is a lot. Like, I got to say, the last time I was there, I was like, meh,
Yeah.
kind of over it. It's too busy.
Yeah. The place just needs some downtime, I think.
I think we need to sell a number of passes a year, and then after that, you can drive through, but you can't stop.
And if you stop, we will send a bear to just fuck your car up.
It's real, like places like Banff or Canmore, it's really hard for people to actually live there that are from there.
Well, and these used to be just like shitty towns. There used to be that character on Airfar's, Mike from Canmore.
Well, I know people that are from Canmore, but they live in Calgary and commute to their jobs in Canmore, which is about like an hour and a bit drive away every day because they can't
Yeah.
afford to live there because they've been priced out by people that have a cabin
Wait.
here.
They can't live in Canmore, but they can afford to live in Calgary? God
It's
damn, they
so
must be rich.
expensive to own a house in Canmore. Like
Yeah.
you have to,
Yeah, it is.
because a lot of people, it's like their second home or their third home or whatever.
Yeah, and you get into sort of the cross section of like, well, build more houses. Well, sure, but then
no.
you're cutting into pristine parkland that is meant to be reserved for
Yep.
nature.
Especially Banff because it's within the national park, whereas Canmore is just outside.
Banff.
BANFF.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Or BAMF.
what are your top 5 sites in Calgary that you think people should go see?
See, I think they're all just pretty row. You should go to Nose
Mhm.
Hill. I mean, I think the zoo is great. There's a discussion to be had there since we're on the topic of like animal abuse, the role that zoos play.
Uh-huh.
I think zoos are a useful tool in educating people. I think if we, there's also animals that cannot be integrated into nature that need care.
Mm-hmm.
And a zoo helps pay for that. I think educating people on these animals is very important because otherwise humans have a very great ability to not give a shit about stuff they don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a zoo helps with that. But I love the zoo. The zoo as a parent
Yeah.
has been just like a, godsend. Like we're there weekly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's another one. What else do I like in Calgary? I like the river pathways.
Mm-hmm.
Nose Creek Path is cool. Everything around that area. What else is dope in Calgary? Is that 3? I don't know, man.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, this is the weird thing about Calgary. I do like Calgary, but to like
Oh,
pinpoint like tourist attractions is difficult for me.
I could talk forever about places that I love.
Like I love the Bow Habitat Station, which is the fishery, but like, do I think somebody coming in from out of town is going to have a blast at the fishery? I don't know.
Well, it depends on so I like going for walks and pretty
Yeah,
things like that.
absolutely.
So
Well, that's why the river walk is like one of my
Yeah.
favorite things. So river walk, let's make that one of them. I said like the Nose Creek
Yeah.
pathway, but let's just say river walk.
Okay.
The river walk is beautiful. It wraps around downtown. It is just one of the best ways to see part of the city.
mm-hmm,
Why not Bow Habitat?
mm-hmm.
Fishery's great. Go on a Friday, feed the fish. It's fun.
Yeah.
They grow salmon there and put them out in the wild for everybody. Oh, I know a good one. Like, see, this is again the thing. The Ralph Klein Wetlands
Yeah.
Park is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
But
It's
like, I
beautiful.
don't know if that's a tourist attraction.
I think it could, like, if you like going to outside places that are pretty and like looking at pristine
Yeah.
areas, I'd say
The
yeah.
Science Center is dope as hell. If you're not from here, a day at, a
Mhm.
visit to the Science Center is great.
Oh, totally.
Another weekly thing. What are yours? What are your 5? You got 5? Are they different than mine? Are they the
Oh,
same?
I've got at least 5. Yeah,
Let's hit
they're
it.
different. So my top one, my most favorite place in the city is Bowness Park. It's my favorite.
Oh my God. You just reminded me of something. Sorry. Can I interject?
Well, go for it.
I didn't even say the new Central Library yet.
Yeah.
That is worth visiting. That is
Yeah.
a tourist location. It's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There we
go.
The
Go.
Bowness Park, it's my most
I
favorite
think I
place
just
in this.
got teachered.
Jesus, Ben. Christ almighty. Stop talking over me.
What if I raise my hand?
Do you want to hear it or not?
Okay. Give me 5.
Bowness Park.
Oh, wait. Just kidding. Go ahead. Don't hit me.
Can't hit you through a
I've
screen.
never been happier that we are in different locations recording this.
For the 4th time, Bowness Park is my most favorite place in the city, winter or summer. I love it.
Absolutely. It's got a tiny train.
Yeah, but it's also, there's the old growth forest right there. So you can see some really beautiful old trees. There's lots of different paths. There's a beautiful pond. You can go kayaking. You can get a coffee. It's my favorite place. I love it. So Bowness Park. I'm a sucker for Bowness. I think it's the best community. There's this place called Cadence. It's my favorite coffee shop in the city. It's awesome. So I'd say Cadence is number 2. Go to Cadence, get their delicious breakfast there, or just get a cup of coffee. It's awesome. The National Music Center, which is right by the downtown library.
Oh, yeah.
The new Central Library. So there's this beautiful kind of museum of sorts, but also performance center for music. And it's like the building is beautiful. And then you're so close to the bird sanctuary, which I think is beautiful in Inglewood.
Oh my God, you're so much better at this than me.
I love Inglewood as like my second favorite community because you can walk up and down the street there. There's so many great places.
You can buy all the spices and rugs that you
really
could want.
could. There's some great wool stores. There's Rick Rack. There's Plant. There's all these great places.
Yeah. Oh, Plant's great.
Plant. Rick Rack actually moved, but whatever.
Record Land is there.
There's another, again, like great coffee shops, great breweries, great places to kind of hang out there. If you're at Fort Calgary, which I'd say is my National, Banff, Cadence.
You just keep going. Don't count.
I can keep going.
Keep going. Let's do it. Let's hit some beautiful stuff.
Fort Calgary
Calgary's cool.
is a beautiful place to go hang out to. It's right by the Riverwalk.
And people be sleeping on it.
Yeah,
People be sleeping on it.
and it's a great place to rent
It's got a
things.
great theater,
yeah,
too.
you can rent out
Yeah.
space there. There's great gardens around there too.
Mhm.
It's close to the zoo. It's close to Telus Park, which is awesome. But then I'd say my other favorite place is the Medicine Wheel on Nose Hill. And so if you go there for solstice, either for winter or spring, it's a beautiful place to watch the sunrise. It's also really awesome to see like the wild deer and animals that live on Nose Hill, which is this giant nature preserve, I guess you'd say, right kind of smack dab in the middle of the city, which isn't smack dab in the middle of the city
the city has
anymore. It's
moved.
like in central north. There's so many places that are just so beautiful here.
You know what's so cool though is like you talking about that stuff. I know it was irritating for me to interject a whole bunch, but it got me really excited about the city. And like I do a bad job thinking and appreciating the reasons that I love this city sometimes. So talking to somebody else and trying to get somebody else to articulate why we love where we live is really cool.
Yeah. I learned there was a person that I worked with who she taught me a lot about sit spots. And so sit spots are like this concept of finding a location in nature and getting to kind of know it and experience it as seasons change and also as you change. And I started going to my sit spot, which is in the north kind of by me here. And I journal and I draw and I take pictures of the landscape. And that's what I love about all these places is if you're a sketchbook person, there's such awesome places to go and draw. Like there's so many places to go just hang out. And even if you're not drawing what's around you, it's just there's so many great places for artists to kind of set up shop and just hang out and draw all day.
And like I know we go back to nature and parks, but like Fish Creek is amazing. Expansive and beautiful. Even the Glenmore Reservoir is cool, and that is a place you actually can boat properly. Heritage Park is cool in its own way.
They have the best bread in the city, Ben. Like the sourdough at Heritage Park is incredible.
I mostly go for taffy and fudge.
Yeah. I like the ice cream store there, but I always go for sourdough. I'm not supposed to eat bread as much anymore, but I do, and it's specifically from Heritage Park. Or Lakeview Bakery. That's the other thing. We have so many good bakeries here, too. Lakeview Bakery, Prairie Mills Bakery, Glamorgan Bakery.
If you want to go more modern, we got Mari.
Yeah, we do. We have Sidewalk Citizen.
Sidewalk Citizen inside the Simmons building. There's another great location, and that's part of the visit to the Riverwalk. You can get guided tours, Segway tours of the Riverwalk. It's a great way to. Chinatown is fantastic.
Yes, Chinatown's
a
awesome.
number of institutional sort of businesses there have unfortunately like retired out at this point. Diamond Bakery, I will miss you forever.
Bubble Mania, we used to go there all the time.
Yeah, but Chinatown's still a beautiful, like centralized, very cool neighborhood to go to. Lots of history there.
Yeah, there's so many great places in the city to just kind of go and like
the
wander.
Giant head in front of the Bow building.
Yeah, that's an odd one. Steve-O climbed it when he was here for some reason.
Yeah, people love that thing. It's big and it's a head.
What's not to love?
And then you can get a t-shirt that says, I got head in Calgary.
You probably can.
Should we start selling that?
I also love listening to like Andrew Fung will every so often talk about his favorite places to eat in Calgary along International Avenue, which is kind of in like the northeast area. And he's right. Like there's so many good places to, like if you like Vietnamese food, boy howdy, are there some amazing places in this city for Vietnamese.
Howdy and Heidi, our previous mascots.
I forgot about
two bears wearing fringe from the 1988 Olympics. We were the first Canadian city to host the Olympics.
Really? Vancouver didn't do it before us?
Vancouver did it well after us.
Actually,
I didn't know
that.
It happened about a year after I lived there. So I got to see a lot of the preamble to that, which is colored my distaste for the way that the system treated unhoused people in Vancouver in the lead up to that. I saw firsthand, and I will never support the Olympics after that.
That's too bad.
Just can't. The displacement of people and the fucking garbage that goes with it. But Howdy and Heidi. They used to be on all the signs.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Now what is it? Be part of the energy or Heart of the New West still?
I think it's Be Part of the Energy.
Well, I don't like that one.
I couldn't care less if I'm honest. I don't know.
We got a Calatrava Bridge. Go check that shit out. Ice cream.
Beautiful.
We got ice cream. We got Marcus and Village.
Yeah.
We got Noto. You got all the best ice creams.
Yeah.
Licks is institutional.
It's good, yeah.
Lazy Loaf and Kettle if you want to do that.
So good. Good sandwiches, good bakery.
Institutional places. You can give Peter's Drive-In a miss. I'm just going to say it.
Of all the places in like I would get it if you went there for a milkshake. I think there's other places that are maybe worth your time.
Go to Inglewood Drive-In.
Yes.
Or Little Empire. Go to one of their locations. Or
lots of great ramen places.
Ramen is great. Yeah.
Ramen is amazing. Wakado, what's up? You're my favorite.
We've got the Shikimenya, famous Shikimenya around here. We got food.
You know who we haven't talked about?
Who? What?
Is the famous Kinjo family.
I don't know. What? Explain Kinjo to me.
Okay. Kinjo, the family, so there's this gentleman. Oh, I'm good. Okay.
I don't know anything about the Kinjo family, and I'm actually shocked.
What? Peter Kinjo is the owner and proprietor of Kinjo, which is like a chain restaurant of sushi places in Calgary, and they're awesome. Like there's going to be people that are.
Is it the one with the boat?
I don't know. But
okay.
Yeah,
don't mind me.
There's lots of locations. They're all around the city. If you like, it's kind of like a fast food version of sushi, but it's awesome. It's really good. I highly recommend it. Is it the best sushi in the world? No. Is it still really good?
No,
you
that's
betcha.
a Sushi Bar Zipang in Bridgeland.
But they also own all the Edo restaurants in town too. Edo Japan. So, and again, it's another fast food Japanese place that's in like every mall food court in Calgary. And this family is like, they're dominating. They're an amazing restaurateur family.
No idea.
Like, yes, amazing.
My
friend in high school dated one of the sons, Colin, who was a super nice dude. Can't say enough good things about him. He was a great guy. Good family, good food. Go check out Kinjo's.
They're not going to give you free
I don't care. I highly recommend it. We ordered from there on Friday.
It was my grandfather-in-law, to go back to Paul Dofu, his favorite place to get like a fast food meal. He loved that place.
Yeah, it's good. In the middle of the week, when I don't feel like cooking or John doesn't feel like cooking, we'll often order out either Lazy Loaf sandwiches
Mm-hmm.
Opa or, those are like the go-to.
Oh, man. You haven't tried it yet, but there's this place called Garbanzo's nearby that is fantastic for
See, you live in like the heart of like good, small, privately owned, like independent
Yeah.
places. And I do think that's the difficulty with the sprawl of Calgary is that
Mhm.
a lot of the suburb type places like where I live, there's not a lot of heart yet. Not a lot of nuance.
Nor will there ever be.
No. Well, I think that it
No, you
takes
live
a
in the
long
blighted
time.
lands.
I think it takes time, right?
And population growth. And
Yeah.
it's interesting because Calgary has no real like boundaries, physically speaking. So we are one of the largest landmass cities in North America.
Yeah.
Which is a problem if you want to have low taxes and efficient services.
Yeah, it's not the greatest, but
Well, let's go out on famous Calgarians. Who are some of your favorite famous Calgarians that people might know? We got Andrew Fung.
Yeah.
But he's left us.
But he will always be a Calgarian in my heart.
Yeah. Jan Arden.
Yeah. Jan Arden.
If you watch Dawson's Creek on Netflix here in Canada, you will know her really cool jingle that she made for that because they weren't allowed to use the original theme song for Dawson's Creek. Actually, on all Netflix, not just in Canada. They did not have the license rights to use it.
We've got Paul Gross.
Paul Gross was from here? Cool.
Paul Gross is from here. If you ever watch Due South, he was the Mountie from Due South.
I don't think this is the place you're looking for, Ian.
Yeah. Who cares, you know?
You remember when you said the syrup was always warm in the afternoon? Well, that would indicate westerly facing windows, which would mean the highway had to run north and south. The most direct route to South Bend would have been Highway 12, a slower road, which would have put you past Hillsdale by approximately 1 o'clock. Now, if I recall from the map correctly, that highway dips south about 60 miles west of that community. So actually, Ian, I think you're off by about 45 miles.
Do you believe everything people tell you? Huh? How do you get through a day?
Did I tell you he was yanking your chain?
My mistake.
We got a bunch of hockey players.
Alicia Cuthbert, who was on 24.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, I forget her name, but there was somebody on the Pirate Show. I don't know if that counts as very, very famous if I can't remember their name.
Yeah.
Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn. Jeff McFetridge, my cousin-in-law, very famous designer in LA.
There is a list out there.
What else we got? Is that it? Is there a list? Do we have a Wikipedia? There's got to be more. We're not doing our job here.
We're the okay, we've got, I don't know if I want to say this, but Ted Cruz is originally from Calgary.
Oh, yeah, we're not proud of that one.
No, we're not going to talk about that one.
We're glad he left.
Brett the Hitman Hart is from local wrestling family fame.
We've touched on them before, the legend of the Hart family.
Yeah. Few hockey. Oh, Tegan and Sarah. How have we not talked about Tegan and Sarah?
Tegan and Sarah, absolutely. Amazing. Maybe part of the unromantic charm of Calgary is we don't have that many famous people.
I mean, I'm sure there are lots of famous people, but we're also old and we don't really like.
Who's cool now?
Yeah, like watching the Oscars, I was like, who's this guy? I don't know. We do have quite a few famous wrestlers from our area, so that's Stephen Ogg. If you are into, like he was on Westworld, like he's in Grand Theft Auto, famously, probably one of the more famous things that most people might know about. I guess that's it.
Yeah, is that it? Have we bottomed out?
Corey Monteith.
We have Bill Borger, the first Canadian to swim the English Channel.
Melissa O'Neill.
Did we say Paul Brandt? Isn't he kind of a piece of crap though?
Yeah, is he? I didn't think he was.
I think he is. Maybe on the Free Alberta.
Before you say that, check it. Make sure you're fact checking it.
I won't. No, Paul Brandt is staunchly separatist.
He's just saying things.
I don't need to back that up. I'm going to say it.
I think that's...
This is not a credible podcast. We say these things for humor.
Levi Meaden is from here. He has been in a couple different TV shows.
Don't know them.
Yeah. That's it. Some hockey players, some country singers, some actors.
Feist.
Feist lived here for a while.
Leslie Feist. Oh. Well, she moved here as a child.
And then
grew up
left.
here. I think that counts. Yeah. Everyone leaves.
We don't. We tried.
We tried. It didn't work out.
That's it.
There's some losers and skiers. Who's making these lists?
People that like sports.
Our former Prime Minister, Stephen Harper's from here.
Yep, that's true.
Not sure if we're proud of that one.
It's a fact, right? It happened.
It is a fact.
Yeah,
There's nothing we can do about that. Stuart Ing, the serial killer, once lived in Fish Creek Park.
That's
Does that count as
I mean,
anything?
it's something.
Is that something? Tom Jackson.
Oh yeah,
The Tom Jackson.
the Tom Jackson.
Is this fun for anyone?
No, I feel like a lot of people are like, "Great, thanks for reading Wikipedia out loud."
Normie Kwong.
Normie Kwong, yeah, one of the very first Asian Canadian football players
and Lieutenant Governor of Alberta.
and Lieutenant Governor.
I
Yeah.
wonder if my wife's on this list. Does anyone consider? Oh, there's Toddy McFarley. And his dad. Very sweet.
Yeah. Well, let's put a pin in that one. So I gotta go.
All right. You finished? Well, that's an episode, folks. Thanks for listening to Dork Matters. We hope you've learned something about Calgary. There's some things to like about it, but maybe it's not as remarkable as I thought when we decided to do an episode on it.
I still think it's remarkable. I like it.
I think it is lovely, and I love Calgary. I sometimes have a hard time articulating why, given some of the political climate. Oh yeah, she is on this list. Good for her. Famous Calgarians, my wife. But yeah, until next time, maybe book a trip to Calgary, I guess.
Enjoy the stampede.
Yeah, go to a hotel. Don't book an Airbnb. They're fucking up our rental system. And until next time, dork.
Yeehaw.
Yahoo.
Yahoo.
Did you know this is that whole thing? Every stampede is a yeehaw or Yahoo, but it's Yahoo.
It's Yahoo. Yeah.
Yahoo. Good night.
Night.
Goodbye. Whatever. Thanks for listening to Dork Matters. If you like the podcast, subscribe, give us a rating, and tell your friends about us.
If you are a fellow dork and have a dork issue that you think we need to discuss, tell us on our social media. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter. You can also check out original art and other content from Ben and myself.
We'd like to say a big thank you to Yabra for the use of our theme song, Dance, off of their Astral EP, as well as a thank you to Jess Schmidt for producing and editing our podcast. Thanks, Jess.
Dork Matters.
This podcast is created on the traditional territories of the Blackfoot Nations, which includes the Siksika, the Bagaini, and the Kainai. We also acknowledge the Stoney Nakoda Nation, Tsutena, and Métis Nation Region 3.